Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome one, welcome all to episode 37 of Sudden Reactions. That's right, episode 37 of Sudden Reactions. It actually feels weird that I'm live at this time because I was just live last night with episode 36 of the show, starring a very close friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, Baby Gap. We go way back. Appreciate him. Shout out to him for coming out to last night's episode of the show. If you missed that one, make sure you go ahead and check that one out as well. That was a good one. And again, shout out to him for coming through and rocking out with us on Sudden Reactions here. It was our first ever guest, our first ever guest. So that was a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody watching live so far in the chat. Shout out to y'all. 86 Ghosts is in here. We got Tila in here. We got Herb in here. What's going on? Appreciate y'all for coming through. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. We almost made it to the weekend, guys. We almost made it. We're so close. I can't wait. I can't wait. Now, real quick housekeeping thing. This will, unfortunately, be the last episode of Sudden Reactions for the week. For the week. Which means I'm not doing an episode tomorrow. I do have family flying into town tonight. And, I want to be present, want to spend some time. Doesn't mean I won't post at all on PRP. I will be posting some short videos and things like that just to keep, the appetite satisfied for all you guys out there who like our content. Again, we appreciate all of the support. Please be sure, like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. And again, appreciate y'all as always, as always. Let me see, chat as guests in the near future. Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm working on that. I'm working on doing like a little call-in link, much like I do on Quiet Storm Sports from time to time, where I let the members come up and you guys chatted up with me in that way. But in this way, yeah, on Sudden Reactions, I definitely do want to do like some sort of member call-in where you guys can call in and give your live takes on the show as well, because you guys know I love seeing what you guys are saying in the chat in response to what we're reacting to. And speaking of reactions, we got a lot to get into today. We got a lot to get into today. So let's not mince any more words and let's go ahead and get into the reactions. This is episode 37 of SR. Let's get into it.
What was it?
All right. So like I said, we're going to hop right into the reactions here on this episode 37, excuse me, of SR. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. That does help us push out the content to the algorithm a lot further. I'm trying to grow this SR channel. I know some of you guys, again, whether you're part of the replay gang or whether you're part of, the actual Sudden Reactions channel, appreciate y'all. But if you're part of the replay gang and you're watching on PRP, please be sure to scroll down to the link in the description. Click on the link in the description to come over to SR if you do enjoy this type of content from your boy Sutton Def, and subscribe over there, because that's how we grow this channel over here. We're trying to build a little community, right? Outside of PRP. Love PRP to death. Don't get me wrong. It's my bread and butter. That's my baby. The Rain Gang, right? But we're trying to build something separate, a little bit separate over here on SR. So if you could, again, subscribe if you have not already. Appreciate y'all, but let's hop right down into it. I see Asmodeus is in the chat as well. What's up, Asmodeus? Happy Thursday to you. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. What do we want to start with? Okay. How about we start with this? How many of you guys have ever been to Buc-ee's? Right? Famous gas station. Everybody talks about it. Us who are from, like, most of us who are watching are probably from the East Coast, like up north, the Maryland area, things like that. A lot of us haven't experienced a Bucky's before, but I want to get you guys' take on it. Do you guys think that it is like worth the hype? Or do you think it is overrated? There's a video of this lady who think is definitely overrated, and she explains why.
I'm at Bucky's right now, and I just am looking for an explanation of what the hype is. Like, this is hell. Everyone's like, you gotta go to Bucky's. I mean, this is like a Cracker Barrel and a gas station vomited all over each other and then made the ugliest clothes you've ever seen. I'm actually horrified because I think this is what Europeans and other people around the world think of when they think of American culture, like in a dystopian way. Like, no, it's real, and I'm in here right now, and what is this? I'm so scared. The excitement surrounding Bucky's as an institution is an indicator of the state of the mental health of the citizens of this country. I think if you are excited about Bucky's, you need to go see a therapist. Walmart has been topped. Walmart has been topped. The hell? I'm at Bucky's right now, and I just am looking for an explanation of what the hype is. Like, this is
Okay, so you heard it there from her. She is not a fan of the Bucky's. And if you do not know what Bucky's is, you never been, you never had it. It's basically just a oversized gas station, right? So I saw somebody in the chat like, is it like Wawa? Imagine Wawa and like a mini Walmart mixed together. That's basically what it is. It's a huge gas station where they have like maybe I don't know how many, like 40, 50 pumps, right? And it's so crazy because when you go inside to pay for your gas, like you don't even have to tell them, what pump you're at. You don't even have to remember. They have cameras out there that know your car and saw you pull up and all this, and they know exactly which pump you're at, so you can just pay for the gas immediately that way. And the biggest claim to fame for Bucky's is their food, right? So apparently, a lot of Bucky's are located down south. Let me just start there. A lot of Bucky's are located down south off of like major highways and things like that. And so when people are traveling, they get off the highway to stop, get gas, use the bathroom, stretch their legs, things like that. And you go to Bucky's that also has like really good barbecue. Again, like I said, it's down south. Their brisket sandwiches and things like that are like their claim to fame, right? Everybody loves the Bucky's brisket and all that good stuff. But for me, and I've been to Bucky's a couple of times, it's overrated, guys. It's overrated. It's one of those things where like it's an experience, right? You go one good time and like you never need to go again. It's not something that, every single time that you're traveling, you need to stop at a Bucky's, like whenever you got to get gas because they just have the best. I mean, some people really like their brisket sandwiches. For example, my dad really likes them. Whenever he's traveling or whenever he visits me here in Texas, he wants to go to a Bucky so he can get himself a brisket sandwich and things like that. But I think another reason why people really like Bucky's is just because of like the brand name of it is just like plastered everywhere. You can buy mugs that say Bucky's. It's basically like a big ass gift shop mixed with a gas station, mixed with like how do you say just like made to order quick food, right? And that's why I say it kind of relates to Wawa in a way, right? Because you can go there and you can get yourself a nice little bite to eat, made to order sandwiches, and they have all sorts of snacks and things like that that are Bucky branded and all that good stuff. But then you can also go and buy a souvenir, like a mug or like a hoodie or like a shirt, like she shows here in this video. There's a bunch of stuff you can buy from there, and then of course on top of that, like I said, you can get gas too. Now, what I will say is that their bathrooms are immaculate. The bathrooms are always clean. There's like always an attendant in there, making sure that the bathrooms are in tip top shape. You know, how most bathrooms you go to at a gas station off of the highway, it's normally disgusting, right? Not Bucky's, not Bucky's. But I really feel like the big reason why people again love Bucky's so much because most people who are visiting a Bucky's are traveling somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like they're either on vacation, and when you're on vacation, you're on a road trip. Vibes are normally already high because you're on vacation, right? You have that dopamine hit of like, yeah, I'm relaxed, I'm in vacation mode. You're in that mode. So stopping by a Bucky's, which is again just like a glorified, like a luxurious gas station, it feels like part of the vacation. And I think that's part of the allure of Bucky's. Again, it's one of those things for me, like my first time going, I was like, "Oh, this is actually kind of cool," you know. But I got some of the food. The food wasn't really hitting that much for me, like for me. And I was like, "Okay, this is kind of overrated." I mean, big ass gift shop, sure, you can buy bags in there, you can buy there's a lot of stuff. Again, imagine a mini Walmart mixed with a Wawa, mixed with an oversized gas station. That's all it is. That's all it is. Have y'all been though? Have y'all been? Let me see. Asmodeus says, "I'm a barbecue snob. We don't even have a good barbecue here." I can't remember where you said you were. Imagine a Wawa pulled a human centipede. Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. Wawa is goaded though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love me a good Wawa, sub, hoagie, whatever. Love it, love it. I used to get the turkey, ham, bacon, cheese, a little bit of mayo. You feel me? Um, their chicken cheesesteak is really, really good as well. When like for gas station standards, right? You know what I mean? Like you have to kind of measure it in that way. But Wawa is my goat personally. As somebody who's from Maryland, born and raised in Maryland, Wawa is my goat. Bucky's again, just a glorified, oversized Wawa, oversized. Stretch 52, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you for coming through. Glaucoma says sounds like some Texas shit. It is. It's like some down south type of stuff. The first Bucky's I ever went to was actually in Florida. So they're like all down south. You go to Florida, Georgia, Texas, Louisiana, any of those places, you're gonna find a Bucky's. You're gonna find a Bucky's, and they actually have smaller sized Bucky's that aren't. The only like the smaller sized Bucky stores are the ones that are like inside of like cities. Like the big, huge, like gigantic ones, like the one that this woman is in right now. Those are the ones that are located off of the main highways, like the big highways where people are traveling to get from one state to the next. Because they want you to stop there, and you can honestly see. I mean, it's a big deal when like you're on a main highway, say you're on a 4 hour road, 5 hour, 6 hour road trip, whatever. And you see signs like billboards that say, "Hey, look, there's a Bucky's in 89 miles." It's like, okay, why are you telling me that there's a gas station 90 miles from me? What does that do for me right now? You know what I'm saying? But that's just how big of a deal it is down south. It's a huge deal. Chris says, really the nuts and the pulled pork, I find it all absolute trash. Tori says should be dry. Yeah, us northerners really aren't a big fan. I've kind of realized that. Kind of realized that. It's a big ass truck stop that does not allow trucks. Mix BJ's with parts of Costco with Disney branding. I don't know about the wholesale clubs. Wawa breakfast is better than most breakfast fast food places. That's true. I have had their breakfast a few times too. Glaucoma. The Wawa breakfast is not to be trifled with, in a good way. See, as Modi says, you're questioning whether someone A fucked, B died, C did drugs, D shat/piss in anywhere but the toilet in most gas station bathrooms. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Especially the ones that again that are located off of the highway. Especially those. For sure. Just give me some potato wedges, says Tila. I'm pretty sure they got those too. Y'all sleeping on Bucky's snacks? I mean, it's all right. They're all right. Uh, you're from Bama. Okay. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Sleeping on it because Bucky's never woke me up. I'm gonna stick with my quick trip taquitos. They got me right all my life. I've actually never been to a quick trip before. Heard of them, but I've never been. Never been. But all right, guys, enough of this Bucky's talk. Let's move on. Let's move on. You guys know I've been obsessed with this DoorDash stuff recently. I get it. Look, I know all of a sudden, why do we have to talk about DoorDash? We're talking about it again, damn it. One more time. It's a different scenario this time. Somebody ordered DoorDash, right? And the Dasher came and dropped off their food. Chipotle, ironically. Been talking about that a lot lately too. But then the person who ordered the food claimed that they didn't receive their order. And the DoorDasher got fired.
Hi again. Uh, I delivered food here yesterday from Chipotle, and you put down that I didn't deliver it to you because I just got fired from my job. Yeah, it was you. This is my only source of income. I do this all day. Now I'm fired from my job because you want your $10 burrito?
No.
Are you out of your mind? Who does this? Who does that? You got me fired. Like, I need the corporate number or something. Because I need to get your ass fired.
Okay, that's fine.
Does anyone have a corporate number?
Okay, that's fine.
You have one?
I'll contact DoorDash.
Yeah. All right, you want to say that you got your food?
I'll contact them, but
But what? Did you get your food or what?
how are you?
I even called my lawyer. He told me I can call the cops because it's theft. It's theft. Are you going to say you got your food or not? Or should I call the cops? Because you're stealing.
I'm not stealing.
Yeah, you are stealing.
I'm gonna need you to.
Yeah, who does that? Who fucking raised your ass? Who raised you? Seriously. Fucking piece of trash. That's what you are. Trash. Are you the manager?
Can I help you?
Yeah, I delivered food here yesterday from Chipotle on DoorDash. I DoorDash all day. That's my main source of income. That's all I do. And this girl, I delivered it to her, and then she went on DoorDash and put down that I didn't deliver it here. So then this morning I wake up to go DoorDash and I'm fired because of her, because she said I didn't deliver it. I would never do that. I handed it right to her. That's the girl. Is there a corporate number I can call or something? Because you guys have thieves working
We give
here.
you a phone number here.
You have thieves working here.
All right, so you get the gist. You get the gist there, and I'll let it keep playing without the sound. But yeah, I mean, this sort of thing happens every single day, right? This isn't like the Chipotle order falling through the bag because the bag was too hot, or that type of stuff happens every so often. But this specifically happens every single day. Now, what I will say, and I've told you guys this before, as somebody who has done DoorDash, like driven for DoorDash before and Uber Eats and stuff like that, it's never happened to me, thankfully. Because if I was in that situation, if I was the Dasher and it was my only source of income, right, and somebody claimed that they didn't get their food, I'd probably go right back there and do the same thing that this guy did. Now, I wouldn't, you know, really press him out like super hard like that because that's just, you're asking for a bigger problem, I think. At that point, I get it. You're upset. I get it that like, this is your only source of income. It's cruddy for somebody to do that like Tila said in the chat. You shouldn't do that. But I think you're asking for more trouble than, than you probably would bargain for in that situation. If anything, I'm going in there and I'm saying, "Hey, look, I delivered your food yesterday. You know I delivered your food yesterday. Like I'm looking like I looked you in the eye and you looked me in the eye as I handed you your order. And then you went around behind my back and told DoorDash that I didn't do my job. So now DoorDash is blaming me and now I'm fired. Now I can't make money to put food on the table for my family. I can't make money to keep a roof over my family's head. So what you're going to do, and I might even record like this guy, what you're going to do right now is pull out your phone and record a video saying that you lied on this date at this time about not receiving your order, right? And then you're going to send me that video. And you're also going to send that video to DoorDash. I would already have the contact information and everything ready to go. And I'm not leaving until I see you record that video. And I'm going to record you recording yourself making that video. Oh, it'll be a whole thing. I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to get all rah-rah. I'm just going to explain to you like, look, human to human, you're not about to take food out of my family's mouth or roof off of my family's head because you wanted to save $15 on your lunch burrito from Chipotle. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, when it comes to like calling names, like, oh, you're trash, this and that, like, I'm not doing all that. I don't even have to go there. You don't have to go there. You just got to go in there, be firm, stand on your business, and tell them, hey, look, you got me fired from my job, so you're going to make this right here, right now. Simple, period. Now, if they refuse to do that, then yeah, now it's more of an issue. Now it's more of an issue. I don't know what this guy wanted the manager at the office to do. I mean, I would have explained. I would have did the same thing that he did. I would explain the situation for sure. But it's again, it's a nasty situation overall. And you're right, Chris. She is in fact trash for doing that. That's true. That's true. But I feel like in this situation, a cooler head can prevail. And that's just me though. That's just who I am as a person. Like before getting to, taking it to 10 and I get out of character and I have to like start raising my voice and calling names and whatnot and threatening all that stuff. Like, no, I'm a explain to you again, human to human. I'm gonna give you that chance. I'm gonna give you that opportunity. Like, hey, look, like you got me fired from my job that was my only source of income. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like if somebody showed up to your job and you did whatever you had to do for them that is in your job description, and then they turn around and tell your supervisor, hey, they didn't do X, Y, and Z when you did X, Y, and Z. And then you get fired for that. And this is the thing, like, and like you said, Chris, she is trash because she's not seeing or treating the DoorDash driver as human. And I talked about this last night, you know, when I was on live with Gap, and we were saying how like, these people are independent contractors. They work for themselves. And I feel like for that reason, a lot of people don't treat them as like actual working class citizens. Like, who do you think this affects when you purposely lie through your teeth and say you did not get your order? Are times that hard for you? Because if times are that hard for you and you're working this desk job as a receptionist or whatever it looks like right here that she's working, right? It looks like she works in some sort of medical office, perhaps. Maybe that explains the mask and she's like a receptionist of some sort. I don't know how much money she's making. I don't know how much money she's spending. I don't know what financial situation she's in, but it does not matter. Think about where the DoorDasher is coming from. A lot of people who DoorDash and do Uber Eats and deliver food, that is their main source of income. And you're maybe making like on a good day, door dashing. For those of you guys who have never door dashed before, on a good day, you might make $20 an hour door dashing. And that's on a good day. On an average day, you'll probably end up making somewhere between, I don't know, 14 to 17.50 an hour. Right. So it's one thing to not leave a tip on your order. It's one thing to do that. I would never, and like I showed the tipping video the other day. If I was a dasher and somebody didn't tip, I wouldn't like storm back into their place of work or storm back up to their front door at their house and be like, "Hey, why didn't you tip me? That's messed up." I wouldn't do that because I understand not everybody has it to tip extra. Even though I think that you should at least bare minimum tip the amount of money that it would cost, literally just in gas, to get to and from whatever restaurant you ordered to your doorstep to where you want the food delivered. You should tip at least that much. But I understand not tipping. I get it. But what I don't understand is putting somebody's livelihood at risk by lying and say you did not get your DoorDash order. Because that's going to get them fired. That's going to take food directly out of their mouth. And you don't know their situation. Tori says, I don't know, I'm not crashing out over being fired from DoorDash personally. And like I said, I'm not crashing out either, Taurus. I'm not crashing out, but I will go there and stand firm on my business because you're not about to lie on my name. Because at the end of the day, again, for some people, DoorDash is supplementary secondary income. And then for other people like this gentleman here, it's like he said, it's all he does. He does it all day. He DoorDashes all day and probably makes maybe $100, $120, something like that in a day. So like if that's your situation, then like, yeah, it's a valid crash out, to be honest with you. It's a valid crash out. Everybody's situation different though. This is also why the pictures are important. Your food has been delivered. For sure. For sure. I heard she got fired though. I didn't hear about that. I mean, she got her comeuppance, right? Stretch says here that karma is gonna hit him. Hits hard. People with no integrity. Let me see. I wouldn't even go back to her because I know my attitude. You crash out, Tila. Let me see. 86 Ghost says being a gig worker in a different field, stuff like that can be devastating, especially if you built a reputation on that app. That's for sure. That's a fact. That's a fact. Tori says, in my opinion, if DoorDash will fire you that fast without investigating, you did not need to work there anyway. Now, here's the thing. DoorDash is quick to fire a motherfucker. Why? Because it's like they already have a wait list of so many people who need to be able to get on DoorDash to make money. So it's like the first time you violate or they even think you're violating, you're gone. You're kicked off the app. There's millions of other people who would love to take your spot, you know? So accurate hourly rate for DoorDash and Uber Eats for sure. For sure. Let me see here. Glaucoma says, now I'm crashing out. You get me fired, I'm pulling back up. Definitely got to pull back up, bro. Just to stand on the principle. Just to stand on the principle. Void says, speaking of DoorDash, did you hear the story about the lady who was delivering a man's food, went in his house when the order said leave at door, then recorded him while he was naked on his couch? Yes, I do remember that, Void. And I'm so glad you brought that up. It's funny because I feel like I would have reacted to that on this show, but I don't think I was doing SR when that story dropped. Yeah, I don't think I was doing it yet. That was like late 2025. In that situation, it's kind of weird for me because number one, if you are that girl who door dashed the food to said house and it says leave at door, why would you do anything else other than just leave it at the door? You know, maybe she saw leave it door on the app, and she walked up to the door and it was ajar, right? It was slightly cracked, and she was like, okay, maybe the person knows I'm approaching. Maybe they went to go get some tip money, whatever. So maybe she waited for like an extra 5 seconds, whatever. And she like peeked naturally to see what was going on inside the house. And she saw a grown man exposed, like naked, lying on the couch, sleep, right? Completely exposed, Johnson out and all, right? But apparently she opened the door further, which like right there, boom, violation. Violation. That should get you kicked off the app. Cause why are you touching somebody's, front door? Why are you opening somebody's front door? You never do that. But on the other hand, though, if you ordered food on DoorDash all of probably 30 minutes ago, do not, like, how do you fall asleep on the couch naked with the door open? Like, too many things have to go right in order for that to happen. You're telling me you had the wherewithal to order. I think both parties are wrong because you had the wherewithal to order the food, put it for leave at door, and then you go open the door. And I guess you're too drunk or tired. Like you fall asleep on the couch with your front door open and you're also naked. And you just ordered food 30 minutes ago. So obviously you were hungry. Something does not add up. Something does not add up from the other person's, side of the story. It just doesn't. What the girl did was wrong. Because if it were me in that situation, if it says leave at door, hey, look, it says leave at door, big dog. Nothing else is my business. I'm pulling up, I'm dropping at the door, I'm taking my picture, and I'm out. Most times I already have another order that I got to get to next anyway. So I think that situation is very kind of, it's nuanced, you know? Mike, I don't have you in the shadow realm. What up, Mike? Comments are not appreciating in the chat or screen. Are they not? I see them. Are you watching on PRP or are you watching on Sutton Reactions? They should show up on both, but I see your stuff. I see your stuff. But yeah. Tor says one screw up and I'm fired. Yeah. That's why. I mean, because they already have a bunch of people who are lined up ready to, take that job. A bunch of people who are on the DoorDash, Uber Eats wait list. But all right, let me see. She walked in and recorded too from her camera angle. It was not possible to see him on the couch from the door. That's why it doesn't add up. She opened and walked down a hall. Damn, walk down a hall is crazy. That's nuts. I didn't hear about all that. That is wild. If you walked into somebody's house and you're just trying to deliver food, I would never walk into somebody's house, even if they asked me to, while dropping off a delivery order, like a food order. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But all right, let's move on, guys. Let's move on. What do we got next? What do we got next? What do we got next? So, have any of y'all ever like gone into like a public building or whatever where parking is like restricted and it's enforced? And if you park here, your car can get towed or your car can get booted, things like that. Here's a story about a guy who pulled up to some sort of building and his car got booted. And he wants to know why, I guess.
What, you not a nigga? What you is? A white boy? 75 to get the boots out, sir. It's gonna be 75 to get the boots out.
You put the boot on already?
Yeah, 2 on.
You know I had to double it.
Damn, my boy, why you put the boot on? Cause she didn't pay the part, bro. She
just sat down.
That don't got, you got to do it before you leave the property. Read the sign. You talking about sitting down? What does that mean to me?
I can't find the fuck to give. I really can't.
Okay, my boy.
So if you want to do it right now, give me a pay machine. We accept everything but American Express. Nigga, I'm the boot man. I boot cars.
I'm sorry, brother, but you are in the book of Negroes.
What, you not a nigga? What you is? A white boy?
I'm not a nigga. I'm a
what
black
you is?
man or my African man.
A nigga?
I'm not a nigga.
All right, nigga.
I'm not a nigga.
All right, nigga.
All right,
right, bro. Afro, brother.
Real quick, bro. Real quick. I don't know. Because listen. Did dude deserve to get his car booted? Yes. I mean, the rules are the rules. Even if he was just running in there real quick, if you know you're not supposed to park somewhere, you can't be mad when somebody comes out and enforces the parking rules and your car gets booted. And now you have to pay. However, I don't know why these type of jobs, like people who like the boot man, like he said he called himself, or repo men and stuff like that, they always have this audacity to them. You know what I'm saying? Like they always have this audacity to them where like they low key be rage baiting the people who are, getting their car booted or repoed or whatever. Is wild. The rage bait is crazy. And he's just like calling them a nigga. And it's just like, bro, like, I don't know. If I had a job like this, I would be as pleasant as possible. I would, because you never know what kind of day somebody is having. You never know what kind of person these people are. I mean, yes, you got to stand on your business as the boot man, repo man, whatever. You got to stand on your business, but like rage baiting folks is not the way. Not the way.
All right, nigga, shut up, bro.
Really, nigga?
Nigga, I'm a nigga, boy. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, doing all that talking, bro. Is you gonna pay, bro, or?
I am gonna pay for it.
All right, bet, let's do it. Let's do it.
$75, my boy.
I know it ain't nothing, right? Double-digit dollars, bro. Double-digit dollars.
Yeah, nah, he's a professional rage baiter, dog.
Man, fuck the principal, bro.
Fuck principal. You a nigga. Yeah, you ain't gonna be nothing about, bro. You gonna be doing this shit all your life.
You wanna bet money?
I don't. Actually, I don't give a fuck about that.
We can bet money. Let's bet $75.
I just know you ain't. You ain't no millionaire material, nigga.
You think you are?
I know I am.
Bro, you got a ponytail, dog. You talk about millionaire material. Nigga, you like gay club material, dog. Come on.
Bruh, call this man gay club material, bruh. Talking spicy like this is wild, bro. Just do your job, dog. If it's me, I'm just like, bro, you gonna pay or not, bro? At the end of the day, listen, bro, boot's not coming off. I'm not gonna let it slide. I can't let it slide. It's my job. Some point, like, you gotta level with people. I just feel like you gotta level with, like, bro, like, I'm not trying to do this, bro. You think I'm really trying to do this? I'm not, but I have to. It's how I feed my family. Just like the last, the DoorDash incident. It's how I feed my family, bro. I'm sorry. Somebody has to do this job. I'm sorry it has to be me, but there's nothing you could say for me to take these boots off your car unless you just pay me to 75. All this like, oh, a gay club promoter or you know what I'm saying? Like you a nigga boy, like all that's unnecessary. All this unnecessary, bro. You never know what this man might have in the trunk, what type of day this man might been having. At the end of the day, your objective should be to do your job and make it home to your family, right?
Y'all niggas are gay.
What you?
So it's wild. It's wild, bro. I don't know. Mike says, go ahead and pay that 75 before you get an altercation because Bootman was talking crazy. That's what I'm saying, bro. Talking crazy for what, too? For what? I'm not saying Bootman is wrong for doing his job. I'm not saying that at all. Do your job. Get your money. You feel me? You got to do it. The man clearly parked in the wrong spot. But like all the extra sass and, you know, talking back, talking crazy, like me, I'm only saying a couple words, bro. Hey, bro, are you ready to pay or not? You ready to pay? You can argue me down or you could just pay. You feel me? Because I could leave these boots on right here and I can go about my business and go boot somebody else shit. So if you want to pay, then go ahead and pay it. But like arguing me down, like get me to let you slide, like it's just not gonna happen. The boot's already on. Right? The boot is already on. Let me see what y'all saying here in the chat. Nah, you better be nice to the boot man. I don't care. Chris says there's no however in this situation. Sutton can't talk down on someone while also wanting them to let it slide. Yeah, which is why. I mean, if you come out and let me actually play it one more time because let me see who started the talking down.
What you not a nigga? What you is? A white boy? 75 to get the boots off, sir.
So he starts off. He's like it'll be $75 to get the boots off, sir. Calls him sir, everything. He starts off cool.
It's gonna be 75 to get the boots off.
You put the boot on already?
Yeah.
He's like, you put the boot on already, bro? He's like, yeah, bro, I had to. I put 2 of them on.
You know I had to double it.
Damn, why you put the boot on? Well, you parked in the wrong spot. The car was unattended, and it's my job to put the boot on. That's the end of conversation right there. Ain't no more talking. It's no more talking after that. There's no more explaining to do. Why'd you put the boot on? And then he's talking about, oh, she just sat down, whatever. And he says, like, you know, all you got to do is, look, respectfully, sir, that has nothing to do with me. You feel me? The car was out here left unattended in a spot it wasn't supposed to be parked in. So that's why the boot is on the car. Is $75 you gonna pay or not? All the talking spicy is unnecessary.
She didn't pay the part, bro. She
just sat down.
That don't got you got to do it before you leave the property. Read the sign. You talking about sitting down? What does that mean to me?
I can't find the fuck to give. I really can't.
Okay, my boy.
So if you go right now and give me a pay machine, we accept everything but American Express. Nigga, I'm the boot man. I boot cars.
Don't call me no nigga.
I mean, at that point, he said something about bread. Like, I gotta give you some bread, huh? And it's like, well, yeah. Like I said, $75. We accept everything except Amex. Boom. That's it. That's it. It's no need for no more talking. It's just not. I don't know. Repo man, I'm just the messenger / enforcer. Not my fault you missed payments. Facts. If you touch a ticket writer in DC, it's a federal charge. They know they're protected. Yes, for sure. It may be a federal charge for whoever, you know, talks crazy to you, ends up touching you, whatever, harming you, whatever. However, again, why would you even want to risk something like that? Because maybe he doesn't just like want to fight you. Maybe he wants to go pop the trunk. Then what? Then yeah, it'd be a federal charge, but you can't go home to your family. At least not how you left the house, at the very least. So it's just like, I feel like with those type of jobs, you have to like, you got to understand and remember at all times why you're there. And you also have to understand that like people are going to be pissed regardless, even though you're just a messenger. And like, I get it. Don't shoot the messenger. Like literally don't shoot the messenger. But if you irk people on and you give people a reason by rage baiting them, saying, oh, like you got a ponytail. You look like you work at a gay club. Like, you don't know what this man is capable of at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Glaucoma says it's a part 2. I didn't see the part 2. I didn't see the part 2. Chris says, I think the guy who has the boots on his car was honestly the one out of line here. Well, yeah, he was out of line when he parked in the wrong spot. That's for sure. I mean, if they're in Atlanta, they can call up the boot girls and get it off for 50. I have no idea. I have no idea about that. Sutton wants that man to be a victim. He's not. No, I don't think that the dude who parked illegally is a victim. He's not. He's not a victim at all. He did the wrong shit. And he has to pay that damn $75. But that's the end of it, though. That's the end of it. There's nothing else for me to talk to you about. Nothing else for me to talk to you about. Like, you can call me whatever, like Tori says, sticks and stones may break my bones. You can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you're not pulling out this lot until you give me $75. So, like, what you want to do? Like, I'm not going to insult you. Even if you insult me, say whatever you want about me, I'm not insulting you back. Like, I'm just doing my job, big dog. That's it. That's it. That's it. I don't think dude's a victim. I don't. Mike says that right there. He asked him not to call him a nigga. Bootman out of pocket with every word after. That's another thing, too. It's like, yeah, if you're going to be professional, be professional. He started off with like, it's $75 to get the boot off, sir. Then 10 seconds later, you call him a nigga. People in those situations, you're getting your car booted or you're getting your car repossessed or whatever. I'm saying like a situation where somebody's bringing the bearer of bad news to you. They can be emotionally volatile in those moments. They can. Because you're basically ruining their day. And you don't even know the type of day that they were already having. Just keep it professional, man. Keep it professional. Keep it light. At the end of the day, you ain't getting that boot off unless you pay me $75. Pay that money and be done. Pay the fee, big dog. That's it. That's it. People talk crazy to cops and vice versa. You're going to fight everyone. LOL, cops can't harm you because you said something unless it's a threat and vice versa. I agree with Stretch 52 here. So just be professional. You don't have to rage bait. As Modi says, facts. A friend of mine in high school got shot in this kind of situation in DC, and it's never worth it. It's never worth it. Imagine you get shot, right? And, you know, the story is you were the boot man and you was just talking crazy to somebody who you put a boot on their car. And you didn't know what they was capable of, so they went to the trunk, popped the trunk, and shot your shit up. And that's your story. Why even risk that is my point. Just to get some sort of like, to feel like you won an argument. You got an upper hand in insulting the guy. Look, a W for me is making it home and getting my paycheck, period. That's it. That's it. I'm going to move on, though. Let's move on. All right, so I wanted to talk about this. Let's talk about education, right? Let's talk about underfunded classrooms. As many of you guys might know, educators across America and across the world even, they don't get paid a bunch of money. And not only that, they don't get a bunch of money to populate their classrooms with the materials necessary to teach children. This is a woman talking about how she doesn't have a whole lot of money to decorate her classroom and get the things that she needs for her classroom. And I want you guys' take on this. Let's take a listen.
So we've all seen that video circulating of the mom that came back from back to school night crying because her son's teacher didn't have a rug. Let me put some of this into perspective for you. Now, I already did a previous video explaining like teachers and the money that we have to spend. My district, I have $250, okay? For basic supplies that I use to make my classroom function, let me show you what I'm currently left with and what's in my Amazon cart. We have some composition notebooks, my science folders. I'm doing a new system.
So real quick, just in case you missed it, she said that the school afforded her $250 to get the things that she needs for her classroom. And I think she teaches elementary.
New system this year where students have to put this on their desk when they are out of the room, whether we are in the office or the bathroom or a different room for groups. Expo markers,
Unnecessary.
because I use those for my whiteboards. Same with these. I might take these out and go to the dollar store and get rags because that's cheaper. That'll save me $10. These are for my ELA papers for students and their math folders. This is their take-home folders, okay?
Now, real quick, she talking about buying folders for the children, for the students. Now, let me know if I'm off kilter here. But when I was growing up, there was a mutual understanding that the parents had to provide the school supplies for their individual child, not the teacher having to provide the school supplies for the entire class. Right? So when she's talking about like, oh, these are their math folders and these are their this folders and that folders, it's like I remember my mama having to buy me my folders. Like everybody bought their own folders to class. Their own pencils, their own markers, their own crayons. Y'all remember the crayon box with the little sharpener in it? If you had one of those, hey, look, you was that nigga. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie. The little 64 pack with the sharpener. Ooh. But yeah, our parents had to buy all that stuff. So like she's talking about, and some of the stuff she's talking about that she bought is largely unnecessary. Like, why are you buying traffic cones that students have to put on their desk when they leave their desk? Like, what does that do? How is that conducive to education? But let's keep listening to all the other things that she bought with this $250 that the school afforded her to get her classroom right.
That's it. Would you like to know the total? $213.
And all that stuff that she bought does not equal up to damn $213. I'm sorry. But she is not doing bargain enough shopping for me. If you really Amazon of all websites, you can find all this shit that she's talking about mad cheap. Mad cheap. I feel like she just don't know how to shop. That's what it is.
$39. I get $250 a year, so I am left with just under $40 to spend. About $35 to spend. Would you like to find me a rug that I can buy for $35? Oh, wait, that's right. Purchased myself. All my organization, purchased myself. Your son's birthday stuff that I'm going to give him on his birthday, I purchased myself. Supply bins, which I do community supplies because I only have $35, and that's not even enough to buy a kid a brand new box of crayons, but I'm doing what I can, and I bought myself these seat pouches that hold students like headphones and stuff to keep them organized. Purchased myself. Actually, my mother-in-law was kind enough and purchased them for me.
Now, some of this stuff I can understand, you want to have for the kids to make, a smoother experience for these children while they're in the classroom. But some of the other stuff that she's buying is like low key giving like it's more so for her, right? And like what she thinks would be like a nice classroom aesthetic almost. Like I want my classroom to look like X. We might not need everything that comprises my classroom looking like X, but in order for me to feel fulfilled as a teacher, I want A, B, C, and X, Y, and Z in my classroom. Now, the organizers and stuff like that, I mean, look, I get it. I get it. But I just feel like you can get a lot of this stuff for a lot cheaper than what she got it for. And she goes on to explain even more stuff that she bought with her own money.
For my classroom, but my mother-in-law, not yours. Rolling cart and a candy machine to make, I don't know, classroom a little bit more enjoyable.
A candy machine. You spent your hard-earned money on a candy machine. I just don't see how a lot of this stuff is conducive to learning. I just don't. I'm sorry, I just don't. 250, don't get me wrong. I don't think 250 is enough. I think they should probably double that. Give them half a grand. Give them $500. Right? And whatever you cannot buy with that $500 honestly sounds like more of a skill issue. Even with 250. And I know you can't get a whole lot with 250, but it still feels like a skill issue to me.
I purchased a cute little reading chair. My coworker purchased. She got 2 sets, this and another one off of Facebook Marketplace. So again, a teacher purchased. This will eventually have your student's name on it, but I put papers in here that need to get taken home, and any work that your child misses for vacation or sick to stay organized, I purchased. Decorations for like every holiday you can think of, Christmas tree, different classroom themes, I purchased.
And again, I understand, wanting to have all the cutesy decorations and making sure that your classroom looks the best, because if it looks good, the students will feel good. I get it. No, trust me. I get it, guys. I do. I do. But at some point, I think we do have to acknowledge that some of this stuff is like extracurricular. Some of it just is. I'm sorry. It is. And I'm going to get to you guys' comments in a second, right when this video finishes. But in my personal opinion, some of this stuff is just extra. And I think it's more so for her and to make her feel good. I think I saw somebody, I caught a glimpse in the chat. I think it was Kenny who said, like, you want to make sure that you have all this stuff to make sure, because you have to teach in this space for a whole year. I get it, but you're not decorating your apartment. Okay. You are trying to foster a learning environment for children. And I feel like that should come from you as a teacher, not all the stuff that's around in the room. I get it. You want to have stuff that, you know, stimulates the brain of children, stuff with different colors, different designs, things like that. Cool. But at what point is it overboard? You know what I mean?
Any like halfway decent classroom posters I made myself, my time, not getting paid to do that.
And don't get me wrong, I do think that teachers should get paid a lot more than they do. I do think that they should get paid a lot more than they do. Because, teaching children, you're literally creating the leaders of tomorrow. Right? And they spend 6 hours a day with you. They should get paid a lot more. But in reality, we all feel like we should get paid more. But we don't. And we have to work with what we got.
Do that. These cute felt tiles that I have around my room.
Oh, so
Luckily,
cute. Oh my gosh.
Who donated them.
So
but
cute.
I did have to pay extra because I wanted to upgrade so that it could fit this entire wall. So donated by a kind company, felt right. But then I also paid an extra like $150 for the upgrade. My money.
Paid an extra $150 for the upgrade. Your money.
So if you're going to complain about a teacher not having something, go donate it yourself. We spend so much of our own money to make our classrooms our second homes. And what if that poor teacher was a first-year teacher straight out of college? She is probably so stressed, and a rug is the least of her worries. The least of her worries. Give your teacher some grace. We are working with what we are literally given, and we are spending our own money in our classrooms. And I'm $500,000 in debt while my husband's in dental school, and I'm still...
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Did she just say she is $500,000 in debt? And Okay. All right. Okay.
Still
all right.
purchasing things for my classroom. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So we've all seen that video circulating of the mom that came back from back to school night crying because her son's teacher didn't have a rug.
Is wild.
A rug. Let me put some of this into perspective for you. Now, I already did a previous video explaining like teachers.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. Let me see what you guys have to say about this.
Okay? For basic supplies that I use to make my classroom function, let me show you what I'm currently left with and what's in my Amazon cart.
Modia says, I can believe she's $500,000 in debt. She doesn't seem like the most fiscally responsible person.
Students have to put this on
it's not giving that, is it? It's definitely not giving fiscally responsible. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The bathroom or
not gonna lie to you.
A different room
let me see here. Let me see here. Let me see here.
Because I use those for my whiteboards.
Let me scroll up a
Same
little
with these.
bit.
I might take these out and go to the dollar store and get rags because that's cheaper.
I don't want to miss anybody's comments.
These are for my ELA papers for students and their math folders. This is their take-home folders, okay?
Let me address this first. As Modia says, enjoying the content, but curious if Liminal Horrors will come back. Absolutely. Liminal Horrors is coming back. I'm just trying to figure out a way to make it better and more interactive.
I get $250
and not to be the same stuff every day. So it'll be back. Don't worry. It'll be back.
Under $40 to spend.
I'll be able to get your rings again.
To spend.
Maybe I can get my first one.
Would you like to find me a rug that I can buy
Kogan says, wasn't there an Abbott Elementary episode about this exact situation? I actually don't watch that show, but I would love to watch that episode. I would love to watch that specific episode of the show.
Birthday stuff that I'm going to give him on his birthday.
Chris M says, sounds very Palm-like. You want a rug in your son's class? Send one. I do think that there should be fundraisers for this sort of stuff as well.
A brand new box of crayons.
Kenny says, I don't think it's unnecessary because some kids legit don't have nothing. They come to school with no supplies. That's also true. Also true, especially in underprivileged communities and things like that. I can totally understand that, which is why I think, again, there should be fundraisers for teachers and classrooms and things like that. It shouldn't just all fall on the teacher. Totally understand that, but if we're talking about what we're working with, you got to work with what you got.
Purchased.
No?
She got 2 sets.
Let me see.
This and another one off of.
I guess Chris is referring to what I was saying about how parents used to buy the school supplies. She says that went away when parents started complaining about purchasing supplies. It's like,
get taken home. And
listen, dog. I mean, your child is getting a free public education.
Decorations for
right. You don't have them in private school.
You can think of Christmas tree,
I can understand if you're paying $30K a year.
I purchased
to have your kid go to school. Decent. Then yeah, you better be supplying.
I made myself
everything. But if it's a free, subsidized by the government,
these cute felt tiles
public schooling that your kid is getting.
Luckily, I worked with a company who donated them.
Go to Walmart and pick up a couple of $1 or $2 folders. Get some pencils.
By a kind company felt right, but then I also
there used to be a whole list.
$150 for the upgrade.
There used to be a whole list that schools would pass out.
If you're gonna complain about
hey, your child needs all this stuff this school year.
Go donate.
Got to go out and get it.
We spend so much of our own money to make our classrooms.
Got to go out and get it, and not every parent has it to do that. But
and what if that?
I think back to like what my mom did. Like, she didn't have it all the time, but she made it work.
She is probably so stressed.
I had what I needed to have, like day one of school, or if not day one, by the second week, whatever, whatever it took.
Give your teachers some grace. We are working with what we are literally given, and we are spending our own money.
Certain things teachers have to purchase as classroom supplies now. I understand that.
In debt while my husband's in
I still got school supply.
And
I still get school supply lists for my son. Says Tila.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
So they are still doing that.
So we've all seen that
Wait, is the video still playing?
Of the mom that came back from back to school night.
There we go. Hopefully it's muted now. I don't know why it wasn't. It's not playing on my end. Whatever, though. Sorry about that, guys. Let me see. If I was a teacher, I'd be looking at Alibaba. Yeah, that's something, right? Your stuff might take like a month to come. His money says Alibaba. Yeah, your stuff might take forever to come in. That's for sure. But Timu says Void. That's true. That's funny. Tori says the teacher's right on this. Chris M says this is a good teacher. Y'all want that real classroom to work pipeline. She's allowing her kids to have a luxury classroom experience on a budget. Shout out to her for wanting the kids to have the best of the best, for sure. But if you're only working with $250, sis, I don't know, big dog. Got to make it work. $250 is enough to do a little bit of decorating and buy emergency supplies. It is if you know where to shop. It is if you know where to shop. I mean, but if you're going on Amazon and you're typing in, oh, folders for classroom, right? And you just click on the first option available, or Sharpies for whiteboard, and you just click on the first option available, and you don't do no digging, you don't try to clip coupons. I mean, Amazon, you can find so much stuff for the low. I mean, for the low. There are TikTok pages dedicated to finding you the best possible deals on Amazon. Trust me, I follow some of them. They're very useful. If you don't know, one that I use for Amazon is called Price Drop Club. Price Drop Club. Is it still not muted? The video? Let me just take it off the screen. I guess there's some sort of glitch going on. Sudden I'm live saying this. Yeah, I mean, it's my opinion. It's my opinion. I think she said a big chunk of that debt was from her husband being in dental school. Okay, it is muted. Okay, cool. 30K for private school. Stop the cap. Ain't no way. I mean, shit. Happens. Wasn't that the purpose of back to school drives, to supply those in need? That's for sure. When did they stop that? Are we losing those recipes too? At some point, it's about life choices, says Asmodeus. She said $250 is not enough, and then showed what she purchased with her money. I wonder how much she spent total in her own money. I don't think she mentioned that, but it had to be a lot. I mean, she said she spent $150 on like a wallpaper thing alone from some company. Just like, hey, look, obviously you got it like that, or obviously not, because you're $500,000 in debt. Stretch 52 says you are not required to do any of that stuff. If you choose to do so, you cannot get on the internet and complain. I don't know, guys. It's a lot. I'm going to move on, though. Prayers, thoughts and prayers, T's and P's to this young lady. Hopefully she gets it together. Because I don't know what to tell you. The school gave you $250. You spent $250 on some traffic cones, some folders, and a Sharpie, like a 100-pack of Sharpies or whiteboard markers. I don't know how you got $250 out of those items. I just don't. You can buy probably a pack of folders in bulk for maybe less than like $10. If you know where to shop on Amazon. Sounds like a skill issue to me, but I do agree as well, like we all mentioned, that teachers do need to be paid more. They need to be afforded more funding for stuff like this, because it is important to have like environments, like classroom environments that kids actually want to be in, that teachers feel good about teaching in. But if we're talking about working with what you got to be a little bit more skilled than that. All right, but let's see. What's next? What is next? What do we got? Here we go. This is a young lady talking about how she is in her mid-30s and she hates being single and doing things all alone. And personally, I know a couple of women in my life, friends, who feel the same way and share the same sentiment on social media. Let's take a listen.
I'm in my mid-30s and I struggle so much to connect with women who have partners that are providers. I know this about myself. There's a level of envy in a way. I'm envious of them. And I struggle to empathize a lot of the times. Like, I really do. Because it's literally just me. Like, I have to keep a roof over my head. I have to keep up with my health. I have to keep up with my happiness. I have to keep up with my dog. I know that's first world problems. But just like all these things I'm doing by myself. And I know there are a lot of people out there that can relate. And as humans, we are not meant to be individual creatures. We haven't evolved past that. We are still meant to be communal and we are meant to be in groups and herds and in packs. And so to be in your mid-30s doing all of this stuff, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And it's so crazy when I think about it, because growing up, I was taught you need to be able to take care of yourself. You shouldn't depend on anybody. Definitely don't depend on a man. Like, that was a whole spiel that was ingrained over and over and over again. And I'm on my 5th, 6th apartment in New York City by myself. And that was a goal.
Hold on real quick. You're on your 5th or 6th apartment in New York City on your own. She got to be making money. Shout out to sis.
That was always like, get your own space, take care of yourself. I'm gonna tell you right now, in my mid-30s, I hate living by myself. I hate it. I hate it. I'm a communal person. I like being around people. I sleep better when I'm around people, whether it's my family, my close friends. I hate being by myself. And so I'm at this weird place where I'm just like, what do I do? I don't know. And I just know if I had a partner that was helping me balance out this stuff, I would free up so much mental and emotional capacity to accomplish and get done all of these things that I have constantly in my mind, these ideas. Like, I have so many ideas that could be life-changing, not just for me, but like, and not just for my family even. I know it could change my family's life, but for society. Like, I have all these ideas, but I'm by myself, and I can't do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. And it's crazy to try to accept that or come to terms with that. But I'm not beating myself up about it, because I'm human. And again, humans are meant to be communal. We are meant to thrive in community. And again, we haven't evolved past that. I don't know why people don't get that. We haven't evolved past that. So everybody's like, oh, block this person, don't communicate. Yeah, and then you get isolated. And then what? I'm in my mid.
So there it was there, guys. And let me mute the video just in case it's still playing for you guys. There we go. But yeah, this lady, and I think Tila says she tuned her out, but she hates living alone in her mid-30s, and she has a problem connecting with her peers, her women friends and things like that, who have providers in their lives, who help them out and things like that. Yet I would question, and I think I saw somebody say it in the chat, like, are you even trying to find a partner, a companion? She says she likes to be around people. She's a very communal, social person. It's like, are you trying? Because I'm sure there's somebody out there who would be willing to take you up on that, right? And it doesn't sound like she mentioned the word provider, which when you mention the word provider, it sounds like, you want somebody to provide 100%, provide for you 100% financially, all that good stuff. But then later on in the video, she talks about how if she just had somebody who could help her balance out, just help her out with stuff, right? She would be able to accomplish so much more and get so much more done. She has these ideas, these dreams and goals and stuff like that. And again, I just ask her, like, are you trying? I'm not the person to say, hey, look, lower your standards, settle for a little bit less. I'm not that type of person. Like, look, go for what you want to go for. But at the same time, it's like, I really wish I could ask her the question, like, well, why aren't you dating? Why don't you have, again, she said she's able to afford 5 or 6 apartments in New York City by herself. I don't know if you guys know how much rent is in New York City for an apartment, but let me look at the average rent for a New York City apartment. Let me look that up. What is the average rent for NYC apartment? As of February 2026, the average apartment rent in New York City is approximately $4,048 per month. $4,048 per month is the average rent price in New York City. I don't know, maybe she just can't find somebody who can afford to pay half of that. I don't know exactly how much her rent is, obviously, but like, she can't find somebody who can afford to pay $2,000 to go like 50-50 with her. Or is she looking for somebody to like pay her whole rent so she can focus her finances on her dreams and goal? I don't know. And that's what we're missing here with this. That's what we're missing here. Q the God, what's going on? 4,000 is crazy. As Modi says, that's damn near double my mortgage. It's crazy. It's sky high. It is sky high. Mike says, I have a friend like this, and I always ask, when was the last time you went on a date? What are you actively doing to change your circumstance? Exactly. Boom. Boom. What are you doing to actively change your circumstance? Because if you're just going to be jealous of your friends who have partners who are helping them out in life, what are you really doing? You're not moving the ball down the field. All you're doing by getting here and opening up your front facing camera and posting this on TikTok is just complaining to the world, screaming and shouting out into the void. And I say that because, like, no man is going to see this and be like, oh, this is the one. She's the one. Let me DM her. Much like if there was a guy who opened his front facing camera and recorded a TikTok saying, I can't get any girls. And, I just wish I had a girlfriend, because if I had a girlfriend, I'd be so much happier. And, I'd be able to, focus on other things in life without having to focus on not having that lover in my life, things like that. Somebody who can, I don't know, cook for me or whatever. Women would look at him like he's a sap. Like, you're not doing anything by just complaining like this. So, like Mike said, like, what are you doing to actively change your circumstances? Obviously, you're making a good deal of money. If average rent in New York City is 4K, right? And you're able to afford that all by yourself, first of all, shout out to you. We got to clap it up for you, because that's not easy to do. That's not easy to do. But yeah, put yourself out there. Get on the market. Go to a freaking coffee shop and see if there's single men there. Join a run club. You know what I mean? Go to church. See if there's single men in the church. Something. Do something. Hell, get on a dating app. Just try some stuff. But if you think that, like, your Prince Charming is just gonna fall from the sky like it happens in Hollywood movies and things like that, it's probably not gonna happen, sis. It's just not realistic. It's not realistic. You know? Q the guy said that's probably a 1-bedroom apartment. Teal says these videos be needing more context, or part 2 and 3. Exactly. Like, I want to sit down and have a conversation with her. Like, why are you in this situation right now? Baby girl is tired of adulting and lonely. That's all. She's a little lonely. A little lonely. Nothing wrong with that either. That's how we get sometimes as humans. But what are you doing to change that again? What are you doing to change that? That's all. We're just missing some context here, clearly. Mike says those run clubs are just sex/orgy clubs, apparently. I have heard that. Those are some heavy allegations that the run club, community has to beat, but it's the perfect thing for that. You know what I mean? She better hop on POF or Tinder. What is POF? I haven't heard of POF. I know what Tinder is, but what is POF? What does that stand for? Let me see if I can guess. POF. POF. What does that stand for? Huh. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Plenty of fish, really? Oh, that's a new one. I've never heard of that. Plenty of fish is what POF means. Interesting. Interesting. Glaucoma says if New York got an EOS Fitness, she just got to go there. Club EOS. Shout out to EOS. That's the gym that I go to now. I like EOS. I got a girl, so it's like, I'm not really paying attention to all that extra stuff that might be going down at the EOS, but EOS is a cool gym. I like EOS. I do. And it's not figure outable. It's not a new thing. I don't know. My mom used it and she matched with a raging alcoholic out of rehab. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, yo. Okay. Let's move on, y'all. Let's move on. Not the raging alcoholic. Fresh out of rehab, too. It's crazy. Let's see here. Why don't we stick with a little bit of mess before we get serious to wrap it up. A little bit more mess here. So, how do y'all feel about the topic of grooming? Right? If you're not familiar, you have older people who want to find love or companionship, so they go for people that are a lot younger and use the power dynamics that come with them being the older person to kind of mold somebody into being exactly who they want to be from a young age. Right, here's a video of rapper Boosie. Boosie Badass. Some of you guys might be familiar, some of you guys might not, but he's a rapper. And he has been with his girlfriend since she was 18 years old. 18 years old. Let's take a listen.
How does your family feel about, you dating Boosie, since he's a celebrity and everything?
Oh my God, they love him down. Okay, they appreciate him. My mama always say that because he's helped me grow, from being he helped me grow from being.
She said it. She said teenager.
Little girl, like young,
like a young adult.
Yeah, young adult. He helped me grow from being young to being an adult, and my mama loves that. She loved that about him, and he helped me mature.
Probably 8 years.
Yeah, he helped me mature a lot.
Been on and off about 8 years.
So y'all met 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
He helped me mature a lot.
I taught her a lot. I taught her how to cook.
I ain't never have to cook a day in my life as a child, so.
Cause you the youngest out of your family.
Yeah, I'm a baby. I always had my sister and them cook for me. I ain't never my mama. I ain't never have to cook nothing. So when I got with him, he like, you gotta go in the kitchen. First we started off with breakfast. I had to perfect the breakfast because he eat breakfast every morning.
He always on Instagram Live eating breakfast. He's always on live eating breakfast. How does your family feel?
So you heard it there. Let me mute it. Boosie. Let me actually, because somebody put, how old is Boosie? How old is Boosie Badass? Boosie Badass is 43 years old. Boosie Badass is 43 years old. And apparently got with this girl when she was 18. He says for the last 8 years, they've been on and off. So if this video is recent as of this year, then that would make this young woman 26 years old. But she was 18 when they first started talking, whatnot. So it's not illegal. It's not illegal. But is it wrong? Is it wrong morally? Put it down below in the chat what you think about that. They talk about in this video, she talks about how, the interview asked her, like, how does your mom, like, how does your family feel about you dating an older man? And she immediately says, like, oh, no, my family loves him. My mom loves him. Because, he has taught me this and that and helped me mature since I was, and she slipped up. She almost said since I was a teenager, but then she's basically since I was a young adult, that sort of thing. And it's like, I wonder if mom was so okay with her daughter, her 18-year-old daughter dating this, at the time, I guess, mid-30s man, because of the monetary I guess just reward that came with it. Was Boosie breaking off that family? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey mom, here go a couple thou. I know I'm with your daughter. I know I'm just about as old as you, mom, but you feel me? Here go a couple thou. Here go this month and next month's rent. Me and your daughter gonna go have fun. I'm gonna teach her the way of life. I'm gonna teach her how to cook breakfast, how to be in that kitchen, how to serve her man. It's nasty to me. Nasty to me. Let me see what y'all saying here in the chat. I want to see. Let me, the guy says, I'm gonna play it. Yeah, that's what this situation is given. That's for sure. Kenny says that is gross, and he probably knew her before she was 18. Yeah, I mean, look, she was probably on the radar. She was definitely on the radar, and that's what grooming is. It's like, hey, look, I'm gonna wait till you 18. You might see a girl when she's like 15, 16. I think same thing might have happened to Ruby Rose. Y'all know Ruby Rose, Instagram model, all that good stuff. Apparently, she was doing like music videos for older dudes and whatnot when she was 15, 16 years old. They thought that this was a pretty young girl. and they was going to get her in the mix early. But when it comes to this lady here, apparently they didn't start dating until she was 18. King Lee says, yeah, that's way wrong because she said teen on accident, so he knew before that. For sure. For sure. Glaucoma says, to me, you're still a kid until you can buy a drink. That's a fact. As Modi says, if she was over 18, it is what it is. And you're right, it's not illegal. It's not illegal. It says they met at 18 and started dating at 24. She's 28. I had to go look this up. Okay. Okay. Let me put that on screen here. They met at 18 and started dating at 24, and she's 28. It's still wrong. Is it illegal? No. But is it weird as hell? Yes. Because the thing that you have to question here is like, number one, what does she have in common? At 18, if they met at 18, he already knew he wanted to be with this girl. They weren't just friends while she was 18 and he was, what, mid-30s or whatever. Me at 30 years old, for damn sure, I'm not going to have a damn thing in common with a girl who just graduated high school. I'm not going to have nothing in common with her. So it has to be something other than that. We didn't just hit it off like, oh, you're a great person. I'm a great person. You feel me? Like, we enjoy doing the same things. We have some similar life experiences. We're in similar stages of our life. Nope. None of that. None of those boxes could possibly be checked. Other than maybe them enjoying doing some of the same things, whatever. But outside of that, none of those other boxes can be checked. So what I think is happening here, and what I think tends to happen in these relationships where there's a huge age gap, is that there's power dynamics. Boosie here, I think, is, the term grooming this young lady to be his and only his woman, made in his image, right? Her brain is not even fully developed yet at 18. Like Glaucoma said, she's not even old enough to buy a drink at 18. And I get it. They started dating at 24. Cool. Stay right there. Stay right there. But if they met at 18, do you really think that Boosie did not have it in his mind that I'm going to make this young girl mine one day? As famous and as popular as Boosie is, could probably have the pick of the litter at women his age. You really think he didn't think ahead of time? He didn't think for the future and saying like, oh, she 18 now. When she get a little bit older, I'm going to wipe that up. And again, molding this girl to be exactly who he wants her to be and exactly who he needs her to be for him. It's like building your own PC. It's like building your own PC. You get all the parts, you know exactly how you want to put it together, what you need it to do for you, all the specs you need, all that. And you put it together into one package. I hate to compare it to that, I do, but that's what came to mind. And there's something that needs to be said about people who purposely go after younger folks. Because why, you have to ask yourself the question, why aren't you going for somebody your age? Is it because you want children? More children? Because I'm sure Boosie has kids already. So I don't think that is what it is. Or do you just want to be able to control somebody? Because it's a lot harder to control somebody that's your age, who has similar life experience to you, who can tell you to fuck off at a moment's notice if you start being on some bullshit. Or you can get somebody who's extremely younger than you, 10 plus years, right? Who you can basically be their mentor in a way. You can be, I mean, they said it in the interview. Basically, she was like his man or her man and her mentor. And that's weird. That's weird. To me. Let me see. I'm gonna be for real for a second. If you treat her right, take care of her needs, and you make each other happy, everything else is just noise. It's just the intent for me. It's the intent. Because again, Boosie has seen things and done things in his life that this young lady probably couldn't even imagine. So when I think of relationships, I think of like meeting somebody where you're at. And I know I get it. It doesn't have to literally always be that way in the literal sense. But I think the mindset, that's one thing that you should have in common with a partner, with a romantic partner, is a mindset thing. And you can't tell me that an 18-year-old and a mid 30-year-old have the same mindset, or somebody in their mid 20s and somebody in their early 40s have the same mindset. They just don't. That's not how life works. It's different generations. It just doesn't work. It's weird. It's weird. How do y'all feel about the MJ stuff? What MJ stuff? You talking about the Michael Jordan thing? The Michael Jordan thing? I don't. If you're talking about the Michael Jordan thing where he was like touching the young boy's butt or whatever, I think that was taken out of context a little bit. I think he was like trying to get something off of the back of his pants or something. I don't think that MJ would be doing anything crazy like that in 4K. So yeah, Lil says he cracked at 18. Maybe. Wouldn't put it past him. Would not put it past him. Anywho, neither here nor there. Let's move on. Last topic. How do y'all feel about we've been talking about AI a lot recently. How do y'all feel about militaries? And I'm not even just talking about the American military, or the United States military for that matter, making robot soldiers that are powered by artificial intelligence. This is something from apparently Asia, where they are designing these robot soldiers to go to war. Now listen, I know you guys don't speak the language, so I'll mute it up. But you can get the gist of the video just by watching it. They've got these like AI soldiers now who are gun-toting, right? They've got drones and little AI dogs and stuff like that. You look at them. They're going into battle. And of course, this is like a training course, little firing range, whatever. And this is supposed to be our future. This is going to be our future. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, oh, this video here is AI in itself, Sutton, which it very well may be. That was crazy. The clearing of that, yeah. Did you just see how he cleared that piece of plywood right there? That robot? Bro, this is scary stuff. And like I said, you might say, oh, this is AI. Okay, cool. But how far away, realistically, are we from this stuff? How far away are we from this stuff? I don't think it's that far, big dog. I don't. They're toting guns, right? And they're moving real militant, like real soldiers. Deadly accuracy, like pinpoint accuracy. They don't make mistakes. They don't have emotion. So that's not a factor in their decision making. They're literally just killing machines on a mission. All that training that goes into being, a Marine or a Navy SEAL or a Ranger, or, you can look at other countries as well, Green Beret, Spetsnaz, all of that stuff. None of it can stack up to what you see here. And there's a deeper conversation that needs to be had because this is coming. It's coming. And people will promote it. Countries will promote it as a positive thing. Like if America were to design robots like this, which I'm sure they already have, they're probably testing them as we speak under wraps. They would promote this as a good thing for society because no longer do you have to send your sons and your daughters and your nephews and your brothers, right, to war like this. No longer do they have to be on the front lines and risk dying for their country. All you got to do is send out these AI robots out there and they'll handle business for you. That's how they would promote it. Which it sounds good on paper, right? And I'm not even talking about like if these AI robots were to go rogue or something like that, but what it would do, it would only heat up tensions between countries. Because think about now how we have like the nuclear arms race. Every country is in a race to get the most nuclear weapons possible so they can be seen as the strongest country. And those nuclear weapons require very, very specific resources in order to build. These type of robots would also, I would imagine, they would take very, very specific resources to build. So while we would be able to get something like this in motion, all it would do is start a whole nother war on who can collect the most, who can mine the most resources that these type of robots need in order to function. We're heading for some dark times, y'all. I'm just saying, we're heading for some very dark times. Let me see how y'all feel about it. AI is the new Cold War. Yeah, we're all going to be racing. We're going to be racing. I mean, not to even talk about the environment, like what it would do to the environment as well. Because you got to think, these robots would still have to respond to some sort of server, right? There would be data centers that are, and then that's another thing too. You'd have countries bombing data centers, right? Next thing you're gonna hear about the U.S. bombing a data center that controls this country's AI robots and AI soldiers. It's gonna get real nasty. It's gonna get real nasty. Tila says here, y'all saw in Transformers: Age of Extinction how Megatron was supposed to be rehabbed, but he glitched, and that's a whole nother conversation. I don't know if y'all ever seen iRobot with Will Smith and how these things started to become sentient beings, right? Where they think for themselves and things like that. And they go corrupt, they go rogue. I actually just watched, I rewatched Eagle Eye this past weekend. Similar concept, right? These movies, they're trying to tell us something. They are trying to tell us something. The newest Captain America movie, same thing, trying to tell us something. Captain America: Brave New World. If you haven't seen that one, watch it. And if you have seen it, watch it again. And think about what the bigger premise is. Q the guy says, not too far away, iRobot and the Minority Report vibes. Mike says, you cannot load an AI system into a robot, give it a gun, and think that's a good idea. I think before we see like AI soldiers, like which one do you think we'll see first realistically? AI soldiers like this, or like, okay, so AI robot soldiers or AI robot like housemates, like robots that will just help you out with like tasks around the house and things like that. You know, clean up, do the dishes, do the laundry, cook your food, all that good stuff. Protect your home if need be. Walk the dog, right? Which one do you think will come first? Which one do you think will be normalized first? Because I really don't know. The AI housemates or the AI soldiers? Both robots. It's interesting. Interesting. Asmodeus says it's literally the only rational reason why Trump is trying to take over Canada. US and China are gearing up for war. Ugh. That sounds ugly. About to be Black Ops 3 out here. That, you know what I'm saying? What's it called? What's it called? Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, all that shit. Our world is turning into a Black Mirror episode. I think we're already there. Low key. AI soldiers are smart. They're going to be better than the best humans, and that's the problem. Suddenly, we're going to be gone way before the environment dies with all the stuff happening. I hope I'm gone before. I'm not even going to lie to you. I hope I'm long gone before any of this stuff becomes like normalized. Kogan says, honestly, probably AI freak bots. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that too. I can see that too. A lot of motherfuckers be horny as hell. And this is already honestly low key happening. I mean, you already have like sex dolls and things like that. I can only imagine when they start talking back and fucking back. Lord have mercy. Lord help us all, right? Yeah, all good until that robot turns into Megan. I haven't seen that movie. Heard of it, haven't seen it though. Haven't seen it though. You have to market the idea first for people to think it's normal. That's true. That's true. The Diddy VOD is crazy. The freak droids, yeah. Listen, man. When it comes to people's, freaky tendencies and, when people catch the horny, it's a hell of a disease, man. Hell of a disease. People will gladly invite a freak bot into their home without worrying about any of the repercussions. If it can sit down, talk, that's probably what old girl needed from a couple of clips ago. She need a little freak bot. Feel me? Little freak bot. Obviously, she'd be able to afford it. $4,000 rent. Feel me? Just need a little companion. Hates being alone. Oh, that's gross. I can only imagine. Look up real dolls in Japan. That's already a real thing. Oh my goodness. I don't want to look it up, dog. I don't want to look it up. I already know I'm gonna be disappointed. Remember the movie Her years ago. I feel like I remember that movie. Her. I gotta look back into it. Maybe I'll watch it this weekend. Brandon says it's like they're trying to accelerate the end of the world. Even so, come Lord Jesus. Oh, listen, man. We gonna need him. We gonna need him for sure. Cause we are trending in the wrong direction. Hot boy, what up? What up, y'all? Appreciate y'all for coming through to this episode. Again, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. We do this show here, Sutton Reactions, Tuesday through Friday. No episode tomorrow. I got family coming into town, like I said at the top of the show. But if you haven't watched, all the episodes from earlier this week, make sure you check those out. We actually just put one out last night as well. But that's just about going to do it for me here, guys, on this episode 37 of Sutton Reactions SR. Thank y'all so much for coming through. I love you guys. All the support you give me, all the watch hours, everything like that. You guys are awesome. Again, I will be back next week. Starting Tuesday. And again, if you got topics or videos, anything that you want to send to me that I will react live to on the show, send it to my Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Be safe out there, right? And I will see you guys in the next episode. Stay positive, test negative. Never, ever, ever forget to call God. See y'all later. Peace.